Hi friends and welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Bear and this is where I share my insights. And today I want to talk to you about what I'm calling the printing press of success. This is the nugget of information that will help you to ease the flow of success. It is simply a reversal in mental and spiritual understanding. Once you turn the key and get the engines revved up of success, it's as easy as sitting back and watching it happen. Stick around. The formula for success seems very elusive to people who struggle. And I used to be one of these people. It's because we have a faulty perception that life is about receiving, when in truth it's about both giving and receiving as a unit. And you will begin to expand your awareness. And if you expand your awareness, you realize that you are the universe. Now, this sounds like a bunch of bullshit to people who would not watch a video like this. But if you're watching something like this, you are being transformed into this larger sense of awareness. And so the universe is expanding into itself. And you run into, as you sort of contemplate who you are, which is what this is about, you run into an interesting duality that never seems to go away. And that is the observer, or the person that you feel you are, looking into the universe. But Einstein told us that the universe is relative. So how can we look at the universe and be separate from it? How can we live in the universe when there is no outside to it? That's where things break down. That's where relativity breaks down in spiritual teaching. Because even science cannot tell us where is the outside to the universe. Let's get outside of the universe to see what it is. Well, you've got this conundrum. You have the subject and the object. Let's say the universe is a subject and an object at the same time, which I believe it to be. This is where relativity breaks down. But the subject and the object depend upon each other. So, the subject is a bit object, and the object is a bit subject. So, you ask yourself, how much of me is object? Form. To people who identify with lots of form, they are nouns. They are purely nouns. They are pure matter. They haven't really opened themselves to the dimension of the formless or the unmanifested or the namelessness yet. And videos like this, I don't even know if help, because the people who are so far into the identification with the object would never understand any of this. But you begin to move or shift. This is what people call the shift. You shift more into the identification with and the unity of the subject, the universe itself. Something gives way, and that is the object part of you. But not totally. Because if I were to merge totally with the subject and become the subject, my physical form would disappear, I think. So, metaphysically speaking, the ego dissolves and you become more aligned and you become the subject, which is like a black hole, an emptiness. It's very, very difficult to explain because the I will take on any characteristic of whatever object follows it. So if you say, I am poor, if you don't pause for a second, and number one, and think, okay, the I that I use and the I that you use and the I that everybody on this planet uses is synonymous. And it is able to embody the characteristics of the object which follows it. I am poor, I am rich, I am this, I am that. Right? And it does it in a declaratory way, like almost immediately. If you say, I am poor, what you are doing is you are giving us a biography of an internal abstraction, a feeling. You see? That's convincing to the person who feels they have it. It almost feels like a contagion if you say, I am poor, right? It almost feels so real to the person who says that. So the Buddha and people who have transcended these sorts of things, they say we have to be compassionate with those who say, I am poor. Because when relativity breaks down and there are no more rich and there's no more poor, there are no more labels, it's just I am. But you are still in the world playing with the form. Now you sort of understand how quickly the I can embody whatever object is verbalized. Now, that's crazy. It's amazing how powerful I am is. And what follows it, you get real careful about that. Right? So there becomes this difference between nerve or fear and verve. They're very similar feelings. You got a lot of nerve, which is bracing yourself. And verve, which is vigor and enthusiasm, comes from a root word called verba, which means word. So the word is alive. It's activated from the I. And in the person who's not aware, they become what they say. And it's true. But if you become more spiritually aware, you kind of see the subversive nature of how I takes on all of the forms. Okay. So what is the secret to success? It's realizing that you're all of it. I am poor, I am rich, I am the theologian, I am the atheist, I am black, I am white, I am male, I am female, and you can dream whatever you want. You can embody whatever you feel on the inside. The I am will embody and represent in a symbol form. And the form represents something that's universal. And then you pick up on how lawful success is. It's built into the universe. And it's a lot like Brewster's Millions. It's an old movie with Richard Pryor, and he is to inherit $300 million from a great uncle. But in order for him to do that, he has to spend the $30 million of it in 30 days first, with all these rules. He has to get value of anyone he hires. He was not to willfully destroy any intrinsically valuable items that he buys. He could donate 5% to charity and lose 5% more by gambling. And he could not give any of it away. And it's a whole comedy with how hard it was to beat the karma. That's what this whole movie is. So he comes into a lot of money and he's forced to be generous. And you know what happens? He keeps getting a return on all of these good gestures. And it frustrates the hell out of him. He tries to throw parties. He tries to give things away, but people won't accept it. They'll pay him for something. He keeps getting, because the universe is lawful in this one fact: giving. Giving is one of those things that you think you don't have anything to give. But the I am is replenishably abundant. Right? And once you start giving even time, attention, the smallest little bits, it's like a boomerang that comes back. It's an immediate return because you are investing in what is essentially yourself. Right? Once you start giving, that sets off an avalanche of return. But that's not why you do it. You do it because you realize whatever it is you've been searching for, whatever you felt was missing, is here. And that's love. See, that's too Pollyanna for some people. It's too romantic to think that love is whole, that I am whole, and the universe is a system. And there's no karmic debt or credit on either end. There's no devil, there's no God. There's no creditor and debt. It's a closed, beautiful, holistic system that on the surface will seem as though it needs something. Right? And that's what drives purpose and curiosity and seeking. So this yearning of the spirit is mimicked in the physical. Hunger to eat food, to survive, all these things. But substructurally, it's complete and whole. So as you're playing with the form, you realize, okay, my purpose is driven by need. Well, I'm also creating the need. But it's just coming through me. This is a natural process that the universe, everything is spontaneously arising from the universe in a closed system. It's all balanced. There's no debt in the universe. There's no one to blame and there's no one to give credit to. When you pray, you must admit that you are praying to yourself. When you give thanks, you must admit that you're giving thanks for yourself. When you suffer, you must understand you are creating the means to suffer. But it's through giving unconditionally, without any expectation in return, that sets off the printing press of wealth. And it keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, like in Brewster's Millions. He could not give it away. One lifetime is not enough to give away the amount of love that you have, the amount of tension that you have, the amount of intrinsic wealth. You can give away your treasures, but remember that is a symbol for the unlimited supply. And on the surface, need and the fulfillment of that need and purpose and all of it is driven by a balance of zero. It's a closed system. The I is a big zero. And it's the same. Giving is receiving. Once you get that, success is so stupidly easy. There's no failure. It's built in. It's lawful. So the formula for success is giving. Give and the printing press comes alive. The boomerang. You send out boomerangs and they fly back to you exponentially. It's hard to hoard and save and be afraid after that. It just keeps coming once you realize the power of releasing the flow of the I that wants to simply give and give and give and give. And the outside world is simply an outlet for that. You don't really have an inlet. There's no inlet to receive. That you can't put it in your ear, your mouth, or your tummy. In food, yes. In symbolic ways, that's success. You're printing your own assets out of nothing but a cheerful, giving, and loving heart. I wasn't ready to hear something like that's simple. That's too simple. And that's exactly what Jesus was talking about. And all these people We're talking about the same thing. Ancient wisdom retold by somebody who's just first discovering it. I didn't find this in a book. It came to me. And it will come to you too. Success comes to you if you understand who you are. And even that is not a condition. It's still balanced. It's still whole. It's working its purpose out through you. And I appreciate your time. My name is Ryan Hebert. And if you enjoyed these insights, please check out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com.